You know, my grandparents, they traveled. They were farm workers. So they would travel from different areas and they would work the land. And that's how they bought their house, from working the land and being farm workers. My grandpa didn't speak English when he first came to California. And my grandma didn't speak English either on my mom's side. So my first memory of really seeing how effective gardening is, or plant growing is when my grandfather went across the street in the biggest field that we had across the street, and he was pulling out the weeds. He was pulling out the dandelions, and he came inside the house and he made a meal out of it. I have fond memories of him sauteing the dandelion, putting garlic in it, and putting soy sauce. I thought that was the best thing ever. To this very day, I still crave dandelions, garlic, and soy sauce. I believe that my garden has been really a positive effect on my community. I've had a couple of people stop by, take pictures. My neighbor has asked for tomatoes. I've had people ask for jalapenos, parsley, cucumbers, and I willingly give it away. They've also asked me, you know, did you do this yourself? Did you put in the bed yourself? And I always tell them about the La Mesa Verde and how they came to my rescue and blessed me with these boxes and with plants that I could grow with my own hands. I am so grateful that I have this garden here, because there's days when you don't know what time it is, you don't know what day it is, you can't go outside, you can't go to the store, you can't go to the movies, you can't hang out with your friends. So coming out here and just working the garden, listening to the birds, watching the bees as they land on the flowers has been very therapeutic to me. It's a blessing. It's a blessing to watch a seed sprout from the ground and grow into something that you can actually eat. Well, let's see my favorite. I am gonna go with the okra because it's so, I eat the okra right off the plant. But I like to slice it up, mix it with corn, bell pepper, and a little bit of salt and pepper and some eggs and salsa over it, and that's it. It's delicious. Well, my salsa, I can't say it enough, guys. My salsa, my son loves my salsa, and he's like, Mom, this is the best salsa you ever made. I'm like, yeah, well, the jalapenos came from my garden. But my oldest son comes over and he goes grocery shopping. You know what I mean? It's like tomatoes, he's got cucumbers, he's got squash, parsley, okra, beets, Swiss chard, you know. And then I have rosemary, sage, thyme, you know, and cilantro. So he could take whatever herb he wants to spice up his dish. You know, you put some dill over your fish while you're baking it. Lemon, some dill, salt and pepper. Ooh, you want to talk about delicious? That is delicious. Well, I knew I wanted to grow a lot of jalapenos, and I had to go online a couple times just to do the companion planting when I first started out. But this is my first year, so, you know, it's like, there's times I didn't know where to plant stuff, and there's times I did. And every once in a while, I just lift up a prayer and say, you know what, Lord? Help my garden grow. And so far, it looks really good. I'm very pleased with it.
So, what mistakes have you made while planting your garden, harvesting, or trying to get rid of pests and bugs?
One of my mistakes that I made is planting too close. with my squash, I put all the plants in one area when I could have put more spacing in between them, and I didn't know. Even with this box here, I put everything too close. I had to cut down one of my pepper plants because of the fact that I had everything too close. So that's something that I will definitely do differently, is making sure there's enough space for all my vegetables to grow.
Would you recommend L&D program to other people?
Of course, most definitely. I do it all the time. You know, I tell people about the program, I tell them about the boxes, I tell them to go to Sacred Heart, I tell them, you know, if they need any help with the gardening. Like, there's a lady who lives down the street. She asked me if I'd help her. I'm like, sure. So I went over and helped her plant and pull weeds and fertilized her garden, and it's beautiful right now. So it has been through organic gardening. You know, I buy some organic meats and some organic vegetables and fruits, but to have them in your home, to have them in your garden at hand's reach is exceptional, man. It's a blessing to be able to do that. It's like a whole new world has just opened up. You come out, you look at your garden, and you're like, wow, who knew that you could have such beauty? Who knew that you could have organics right at the reach of your hand in your own garden? Who knew that? So, thank you, La Mesa Verde. You know, me being a woman of color, I encourage others to get their hands dirty, get their feet wet, get some sun, man. Plant a seed and grow. Because this is life. From the ground to the table, that's life. I mean, we've taken that away from people by going to the grocery store. I couldn't even identify a plant until I started gardening. It's like, oh wow, this is the leaf that comes from cucumbers. Oh wow, this is how okra grows. You know, who knew? So I encourage people to get their hands dirty, get their feet wet, and grow something. Hello, my name is Rose. This is my first year with La Mesa Verde. I'm so excited about my garden. Let me give you a tour. This right here is my cucumber plant. I have given so many cucumbers away. Mailman, neighbor. I go down the street and I just hand stuff out. I have a basket where I leave vegetables out. And then one of my favorite plants is my okra. I love my okra plant. When it first started to produce, I would just come out here and just start eating it right off the plant. My jalapenos, and I have a different variety of chilies here, but my favorite are my jalapenos. I've made 2 batches of salsa, and my kids rave about my salsa. I just want to let you know. Beautiful. Beautiful. I also have oregano, parsley here. I mean, I am so blessed. I get to come out here and pick up any type of herb or any herb that I have in my garden, and I cook up a storm, let me tell you. Right here I have my purple basil. I cut branches of it and I set it out for anybody who would like to take some. My beautiful green onions, they're almost all gone because I've been picking them out of my garden. I have green onions, chives, beautiful purple basil that's now going into seed. I'm so excited about it. So beautiful. My eggplant still hasn't given me fruit yet, or vegetables yet, but I'm excited. And then my gigantic sunflowers. You can't miss my sunflowers. They're so big. The thing that I'm most excited about right now is that I don't have to go to the grocery store as often. I'm able to just come out here and season up my food with the stuff I have in my garden. Parsley, chives, onions, oregano. I have cilantro. I have mint, green basil, purple basil, rosemary, thyme. I have all that to season up my vegetables. So I have my Swiss chard here that I'm very excited about, and my beets. Ooh, look at that, baby. Actually, I want to pull one up. Is that all right? Let me pull a beet up. Here's one baby one. But that makes great pickling right there. And the leaves are really healthy. I could eat my leaves. No problem. I also have another eggplant. My little peas. Another eggplant here. That one is starting to get fruit, barely. You can see the flowers. And then I have my peas. My squash plants, it produces so much vegetables. Sometimes I forget to come out and pick the squash, and this is what I end up with. I have 3 actually. I have too many. I have too many, but I have so much fruit, man. My neighbors are so excited because I leave the baskets and they come and they get whatever they want. I mean, I even have people asking me, please, can I have some of your basil? Can I have some tomatoes? Can I have your jalapenos? I'm like, yeah, you can only have a few of those because I'm making salsa. And then I have, I don't know if you want to show I have little patches of cilantro. Of course, I got my beautiful sage. Oh man, I love sage. And I got my calomel for tea. And then my cosmos, which I absolutely love. I love my cosmos. They're so beautiful. And dill behind it.
How they grow so big?
I use fish fertilizer. That's it. Every 14 days or once a month. I haven't fertilized them yet this month, but I'm going to. Now, one of my favorite recipes for dill is cream cheese, dill, and green onions. You mix that up, put it on a slice of bread, slice up your cucumbers, put the cucumbers on it, and you got a great cucumber sandwich. Absolutely delicious. So that is my favorite plant right there, is my dill. Hola, señora. Hay tomates si quieres tomates. Ajá. And then I have a squash plant. Oh, I think it might be pumpkin. Somebody just dropped the plant off. Muy buen día, señora. Hay uno que está ahí, mira, que cayó uno. Ajá, de nada, señora. I think this right here is a pumpkin. Somebody dropped that off. Somebody left it on my porch. I'm like, oh, well, let me put it in my garden. They were already, it was a plant and it had the roots already. So I just stuck it in the ground and it came up. And then here are my beautiful tomatoes. Look at that one right there. That one looks like a pumpkin. You see that? That is like a pumpkin right there. I'm so proud of that one. My favorite plant are these tomato plants. One of my favorite plants is the tomato plant. It's that one. So I have 6, 7, and then all the ones that are coming up on the other side of the fence from last year. They're so excited about it. My neighbors are so excited about the plants that are coming up.
You put something in the soil?
Actually, all I put was some compost. I put compost and yeah, I think that's about it. Compost and whatever dirt was left from the garden beds, I put in the ground. I mixed it. I usually walk through here or back around this way for my tomatoes. Here's the tomatoes that are coming up from last year. There you go. I have more basil. It's coming out. Seed. It's seeding now. And more of my tomato plants. The smell of that basil. I also made pesto sauce.
I love it.
Oh my gosh. So one of the things that I'm very thankful for also is that if it wasn't for Mesa Verde, I wouldn't be growing my own organics during this COVID-19. I'm so grateful. I am so thankful that I actually have something to do because I go through depression and this right here has been very therapeutic for me. So I want to say thank you. Thank you. About 4 months, yeah. And I have so much. It's like I have so much and that I'm able to give. And that's the best part right there, is being able to just say take it, or being able to walk down to my neighbor's house and say, do you need anything? People walk by and I'm like, do you need any herbs? Do you need any parsley? You know, do you need any dill? You know, and my jalapenos, you know, I don't give away too often because I make some bomb salsa. Bomb salsa.
How often are you harvesting?
Every day.
Every day.
Every day. Sorry, honey.
You have something to harvest.
Every day. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Every day.